Well, howdy ho there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, things and its, and everything else of the interwebs. John with you again in the shop at Midnight Run Creations, and it's literally late at night. Not quite midnight, but it's still late. So, had to do some, as you can see from the picture in the start of the video, had to do some swappage of the stupid brake booster for the stunt truck. Was having some issues. I didn't have brake pedal. There we go. Sorry, allergies and stuff. I didn't have pedal when the truck fired up and stuff, so I was losing it. So I knew the master was all right and stuff. So, but the booster, whoa, sorry about that, is brand new. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck happened, but obviously when the truck fired, then I still had brake, but it just went to the floor and stuff. So got another booster put on there and just now fired it up and still got good brake and stuff. So what that means for stunt truck is that I'll be able to take it out and calibrate everything and stuff onto it so we can get it calibrated and start running around in it and stuff, because I've got the Dakota Digital. So part of that with Dakota Digital is this fun thing here, the quick start guide. This is actually like the back page, front page, there we go. And so it tells you how to go through, depending on the hookup you're using, whether you're running everything analog, because I think I said it before in the video, that's the really badass thing about that Dakota Digital. I mean, I cannot say enough good stuff. This thing is freaking awesome. I mean, just fantastic, especially after using that Intellitronics piece of shit thing. Is just, yeah, sorry, excuse my language, but that thing was garbage, just garbage for what you pay. So Dakota Digital is expensive, albeit, but it's awesome. I mean, especially with these swaps on the Crown Vic stuff, because like a lot of times, like I've used and a lot of other guys use, is the Crown Vic. Well, if you have this style of bezel, then that little bar is there, and oops, and that bar going straight across all have to be cut out so that you can see all your Vic stuff onto it. And then even then, it doesn't sit, like I said before in early videos, and I think anytime I literally talk about it, I talk about this, but the bezel and the gauge cluster, Crown Vic cluster, actually sit like completely opposite directions of each other. And you got to decide, do you want it all the way up so that you can see, parking, all that kind of stuff? Do you want it all the way down so that you can see the top of the Speedo and stuff? And just things you got to choose. That's one of the things about doing these swaps with Crown Vic, is nothing's going to be perfect because they weren't meant to be together. I mean, they're pretty badass how close they are, but they just aren't meant to. So you got to do that kind of stuff and fab things up and whatnot, just like with the AC controls. So those are in now too. It's hard to see them because they're black and stuff and it's late, but that's the Crown Vic AC controls. They are plugged in right there in the AC controls, actually. That's where the factory heater and AC controls and stuff went on the truck. So the Crown Vic sits inside of there, and then the Dakota Digital. So anyway, as I was saying, Dakota Digital are badass. They're freaking awesome. You can run them any way you want to run it, like it shows. If you're still running coil and stuff like that, if you're running HEI, if you've got the MSD, holy shit, the MSD, cool. And the digital MSD distributor all the way up to, now obviously on this one with the Crown Vic, like I put up before, we've got the OBD2 port, so that's how we're running this one. Is the Dakota Digital actually has this cool thing, this intermittent module, and also has another one, as I list in the video, so it tags all through and pulls that stuff. So it pulls a lot of the vitals. Some of the stuff you still have to run through. There's some stuff I got to talk to Dakota about to get other things read and set up, but a lot of it is just getting this all set up, and that's what this book is for, front and back. Is you go through and program your Speedo by running a mile in it, and then also selecting stuff based off it's a V8 or 4-cylinder, and then actually it's an LS, then there's some other different stuff to it. The set fuel tank sending unit, that does have to be run independently because the OBD2 port doesn't register that, so you have to run your sending unit onto it. But temp seems to be running. Of course, I got to set the tack up on it too with this whole programming thing. Oil, I'm not sure. I think it's pulling off, and I might have to run a lead. That's one of the things I could talk to Dakota about on it. But yeah, now that I actually have, I mean, I had brakes before, but I just wanted to make sure they were running okay, and we'd have some other kind of issue with it. But that was the problem, is stupid ass booster onto it. And this stupid booster was not cheap either with it. So, but yeah, cool thing is, I don't know if I've said it before. I guess I will kind of give this is a freebie. You know, I'm getting paid to do these builds, so as I've said in videos before, I don't go through every single detail on stuff because some of these are just my quote-unquote tricks of the trade and stuff with it. So, but I will tell you this, that this is, of course, obviously the Crown Vic master cylinder. That is a factory truck booster assembly for these years of trucks, and that is the factory power brake booster bracket, and it all plugs into the factory truck pedal, so you don't have to worry about getting up in here and screwing around with all kinds of stuff and welding shit in there and hacking the pedal all up so that, you know, putting the Crown Vic pedal in there, hacking it so it comes this way and stuff. It's all the factory truck stuff, just bolts in where it's supposed to be. So yeah, and I can actually get a hold of, because I know some of the trucks didn't have this, didn't have power brakes to it, so they don't have that. Bracket's the biggest thing because it's hard to get. So but as with the cab mounts for doing the swap, I can also get a hold of this stuff too as a kit for you. Same with the steering linkage system on it, the front bumper mounts, which we'll get to see when we start to move to that. Cab mounts, I can't think what else. We're working on the bed mount, front bed mount, as well as the tie-ins, to the chassis and stuff onto it. But so that's that. We'll do that tomorrow, is get this all dialed in on Spinoo and stuff so I can start running it, because the customer has it all legal, so it's got plates, it's got insurance and stuff like that, so we can go start terrorizing our local neighborhoods and making children and cry and women scared and stuff with this beast here on it. So yeah, so that's what we got going on there. The gas tank is pretty much in on Smurf truck. As you can see it peeking down there, that is the Mustang gas tank. So that's a 1967 Ford Mustang gas tank that's in there. So pretty cool. Got that tank as well as the fuel line system from Andrew Peterson with Andrew's Tuning and Performance. So we'll run the fuel lines back because, of course, this one we're running the Holley Terminator Max S on it. So, and there is the fill spout right there. It is actually the factory one from coming out of the side of the cab there and stuff on it. And I just got it punched through. And so there's the fill in there. And you can kind of see, well, I guess you can't actually. Right back here is the sending unit, and then about dead center is where the pump and everything and stuff goes with it. So Andrew's kit, which this is kind of part of it right here, has the fuel lines, has the fittings, has the fuel filter. It also comes with the pump and everything. You tell him what pump, depending on what you're doing. So he's got the pump set up for me for this setup because we're not using the Crown Vic stuff. We're using, like I said, the Holley, so that requires a different way to do it. So kind of like what we're going to do on the Grinch, I guess now it's called. What was Pops and now is the Grinch. So yeah, that's where we move on to that. So I got that. I need to get this bed flipped up so I can get that head piece all tacked in there, and then need to do some filling right here because this was just rotted to hell. So I had to cut it out because I started to try to weld and it just was blowing through and stuff. So we'll have to get this all tacked up, get that fitted up, and then we will make the hump that goes across here to fill in. Still got to do it for stunt truck as well too, but that one's using the Crown Vic truck, so we're gonna have the jerry can and stuff on it. So yeah, so that's what we got going on for customer builds. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. That's been what's going on this week and stuff. It's like I said, I don't know if I've said it before, some stuff is just amazing pain in the ass. Like this stupid brake thing, I mean, some of this stuff just makes you bang your head and stuff, and I can't tell you how many times I went through and bled these off and yeah, all that kind of fun stuff. Had my daughter out here pumping while I'm bleeding, had my little pump thing and stuff, which I highly recommend if you guys do any of this stuff on your own, whether it's this or even modern vehicles. I mean, obviously you can get the nice ones, but the Harbor Freight higher end one works. Get the extended on it, and then when you're done with it, or if you break it, you can just take and get a new one. But it's nice because you don't have somebody pumping. You can just fill it, you go back here and use it as a little bucket thing and stuff on it. So actually pretty cool setup for the price and stuff onto it. So if you're doing anything like that, it's well worth it. So, but yeah, anyway, so some of that stuff bangs your head. Some stuff just takes time to do. Amazingly enough, doing some of this stuff in here was not bad. Again, I've done this like over a dozen times now, so it's a lot nicer. But you get stuff like this where it's like, oh wow, I got seats in, I got a dash pad in, and Dakota Digital gauge cluster in, and the little boxes all wired in, and even the AC cluster thing and stuff, and you know, got all that done in a short amount of time. Felt like progress and stuff. Then you got shit like this over here, that this freaking gas tank thing just being a royal pain in the butt to get in here. Now, admittedly, part of that is the fact that it's the first time I've done this tank setup, so you know, I have to plan them all out and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, but I highly recommend it. Whether you're doing these Crown Vic swaps or not, it's just a nice deal to do. I mean, I don't know. Even if you're not doing a swap, even if you're restoring the truck, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's kind of stupid to have a gas tank right here behind your seat. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It doesn't matter what you do. You can do new rubber on the fuel neck, new seal on the sending unit, and I mean, even a new tank in here with all that stuff on there. A nice cap and seal and stuff. And it doesn't matter. It's still, you got gas sloshing around behind you. If it gets warm at all, then the moment the truck's been sitting or warm, then you get in and you can smell gas and stuff. It's just, I mean, yeah, I know it's all part of the old truck thing and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, you can relocate, even on a factory truck, you can relocate the gas tank to back here with the Mustang one, the Suburban one. It actually fits between the frame rails and stuff. So, in fact, if you want to have that done, we can do that. So, as a side note, we can. You know, I'm full-fledged, as you can see, doing stuff with, you know, everything in between. So, you know, I specialize in these Crown Vic swaps. In fact, I would go so far as to say that I'm the kind of the premier person onto it. If I'm not already, then that's my goal, is I would like to be. So, but heck, I will work on Fords and Chevys and whatever else and stuff. I mean, love all these old trucks and stuff and cars. So whatever you want to do, bring it down. Like I said, said before, I'll do the short bed conversions on factory trucks, you know, whatever. If you want to put the Super Duty stuff on all this and get it all lifted up in the air, either on these ones or the F-250s or extended cabs or the quad cabs or whatever, I got a guy that gets me parts for that kind of stuff, so I can get all the stuff to make the Super Duty suspension components and engine stuff and everything, you know, bolt in. So, you know, whatever, let's do this. I can get this stuff done. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. Gas tanks on that one. It just kind of shows you the difference on it. Tank like that under that one versus doing the Crown Vic one. I mean, it's up to you to decide what it is for, because as you can see, this still has to be cut back to here because of the way this frame comes in. So in fact, I was looking at that. I guess a person could probably, let's get my finger out here where I'm not in the way. I guess a person could like cut that down and out so that you didn't have to come back so far with it. I, you know, might try that. But one thing is kind of makes it symmetrical as well too with it. I don't know. To me, it's not really a big deal because again, I grew up with GM Chevy stuff, and the C10 guys have been having a, you know, tube stuff like this because they've been C-notching and slamming C10s ever since they were first brought out and stuff. So that's just kind of a standard thing that I've seen. So having that hump in the bed really is no black, you know, ain't no thing to me. But I know some of you guys kind of freak out about it and stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. So that kind of shows you the difference. Same amount of space onto it. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's what we got going on. And next video, we'll pop over to the Dodge and do a progress on that too. So peace out.